Last week, there was reporting that Tiana's Bayou adventure at Disneyland was starting to shut down early, and not long after that, water dummies were seen coming down the ride flumes. Now, it seems that Walt Disney World's version of Tiana's Bayou adventure is shutting down early as well. What's more, a video from former head of Imagineering Bob Weiss came out saying that he thinks that Tiana's Bayou adventure is a joyous success at Disneyland. Let's talk about some of the mistakes they might have made here on That Park Place. I don't know if you guys have heard about this Tiana's Bayou adventure. That it's the newest ride at Magic Kingdom and at Disneyland. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Imagineering does. I'm looking forward to finding out what that Bayou magic, that Bayou mist looks like. I'm looking forward to seeing all these next level animatronics in their full working form. Any update on that, by the way, Vash? How's it functioning out at Disneyland?
Ooh, we're not functioning that very well at all. You know, we played this clip on a That Park Place video earlier in the week, but for those who aren't familiar, this is Matt Desmond right here. He had some thoughts and some video actually about what is going on currently at Disneyland's version of this attraction. I'm gonna go ahead and play it for you all here so that way you're up to speed on what's going on.
If you followed me for a while, you know that I love Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Disneyland. I've ridden it over 100 times, but this ride is having too many issues to not talk about it. First of all, two of the Tiana animatronics, their bodies are just not working. The finale, her body hasn't been working since December, so over a month now. One of the Tiana animatronics, her face is not working, but her body is still moving. Two of the Lewis animatronics are just not moving at all. And the final Mama Odie, which has issues anyway, is also not moving except for her face. Like, what is happening? This ride is less than a year old. Disneyland really needs to figure this out because Tiana deserves better. Here's the footage.
Look at all these
You can turn off the audio at this point because we can just play it in the background here. And Matt Desmond, I would say, I don't know that he would have necessarily appreciate us showing his footage on this channel. He is not of the same favorability towards the company as we are. And like he said, he's ridden this ride more than 100 times. This is about the Disneyland version of the ride. And they've just made a change where this ride is not available for after hours events because they are closing it earlier than they originally were. And also they've spotted water dummies being put back into the ride in the hours that it's closed. Meaning, hey, Culture, would you like to explain why they use water dummies for testing there at any of these attractions?
No.
Okay, I'll try. Water dummies are weighted down and put on this attraction so they can see if it'll set off the triggers for the different scenes. There is a problem with this ride triggering events at different times. It used to be on a constant loop when it was Splash Mountain, the superior version of this ride. And now they want every show scene to go at a specific time. They want you to be at a specific place when the lines are red. And so those triggers are very important to the current operation.
Yeah, see, you wouldn't have liked my statement because I was going to say, just see how many fat people you can put on it.
Yeah. There they are, the happy family. They're visiting Bayou country for the first time. You can see the excitement on their faces.
All white people. God, where's the diversity?
That's
so
very
racist.
White water people. But now, and we're going to a story from Blog Mickey for this. It looks like Tiana's Bayou Adventure is to close early through February 6th, low demand or maintenance needs. When I was sent this story, I thought, wait, are they closing it even earlier than they originally planned? And then I realized, no, Blog Mickey covers Walt Disney World. So this is the second Tiana's Bayou Adventure to get early closes so that they can stop. I'm assuming, and he says low demand or maintenance needs. My response was, why can't it be both? Why can't it be both? Tiana's Bayou Adventure will close early over the next 2 weeks, closing at 6 p.m. some days, 4:30 p.m. on one occasion, and having longer operating hours on the weekends. Here's a look at the attraction's operating schedule for the next 2 weeks. Look at that, 6 p.m., 10 p.m. on, let's see, that's the 24th. That would be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. otherwise known as when Imagineers have gone home for the weekend. I would say that this is not a low demand issue. Well, they do have higher demand on the weekends because that's when people are off work. But to me, this looks like they're doing the same thing that they were doing out there at Disneyland. They are trying to figure out why this thing does not work. What are your thoughts on that, guys? Before we get to a video from a former Imagineer who just thinks Tiana's Bayou Adventure is great.
It's poorly made, poorly conceived, and poorly received, and there's nothing that they could possibly do to fix it. They're giving they're putting out surveys, which is a story I think I'm going to write today. They're putting out surveys to people about, like, did Tiana's Bayou Adventure break when you're on it? They know how many times that ride breaks down in a day.
Yeah,
they just want to know how many people like clock it.
Right, and by that, let me rephrase in the plainest English possible on that. They don't want to know how many times it broke. They want to know how many times people realized that it broke.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the survey picture. Which of the following best describes your experience riding Tiana's Bayou Adventure on January 18th? I believe this was provided by. Do we want to out the person who provided it to us? Oh, okay, Splash Jacket. So. I wrote it successfully without any issues. I don't know how often that one's going to get checked.
Never.
I wrote it successfully, but some show elements did not appear to be working. I wrote it successfully, but the ride was interrupted while we were on it. I wrote it successfully, but the ride was interrupted while we were on it, and some show elements did not appear to be working, and or we were evacuated and had to exit the ride before it was over.
And I will say, Brer Oswald was the one that sent this our direction right here. Really interesting, fascinating stuff that they're even asking this. They understand it's a problem. They want to know, like, the magnitude of it. Apparently, this is embarrassing. I've never seen a survey ask this upon an attraction's opening. I mean, even when Rise of Resistance was having its issues, I never saw a survey like this.
Right? Is this Walt Disney World or is this Disneyland that they are sending out the survey? This is parks in general. Okay. As of the time of recording this, I think that Tiana's Bayou Adventure is only 6 weeks old out there, because it opened up in November, so we're still under 9 weeks. I think that this has been open, and they're already asking people, just how broken was it when you were there?
Yes, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, especially given the amount of audio animatronics available. Well, we're looking at a good probably dozen of those really what they would call high quality audio animatronics compared to, like, what, the 100 plus that Splash Mountain used to have out there in Disneyland. I mean, it's
and those ran for decades with, required maintenance being performed and regular maintenance being done, and you occasionally run across something that wouldn't be working, but usually it was one of the rotational motors that would be offline or whatnot, and those were power issues even back then. But when you look at this attraction, which only opened on November 15th at Disneyland, you would expect it to be in much better place, right? And especially with the higher end animatronics, they should be operate flawlessly for a couple 3 years, with minor adjustments, maintenance, etc. This all points to the fact that they broke something that they didn't know how to possibly fix from beginning to end, whether it be an electrical issue or the other operational modes that these things came under, because they used to operate under different forms of pressure, being either gas, air, whatnot.
Now,
hydraulic.
There is something that I really wanted to get your opinion on, Culture, and someone has resurfaced his return from Japan from his travels and came to fix Imagineering, and now he's left the company again to go work for a company, Ginsler, and he has some thoughts on Tiana's Bayou Adventure and just how great it is. I haven't dated this video, but I don't think the date of the video actually matters. Vash, go ahead.
Absolutely. Here we go from Bob Weiss, actually, when talking about Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Let's see what he had to say.
It's a rough decision to do Tiana's, not because it was a hard decision in itself, but because it occurred in the depths of COVID. It was in the all the parks were closed, everything was down, and to make a decision to do
Okay, would you pause that real quick? All right, let's just emphasize that Bob Weiss is out here saying that this decision was made in the depths of COVID. When did Disney say that they made the decision for Tiana's Bayou Adventure?
Years
May
before.
of 2020.
Yeah, 2018 is when. No, that's when they were public with the decision. But they said that they were working on Tiana's Bayou Adventure in 2018.
Right.
So I'm not saying that this is the definitive word on when they actually made that decision, but it's not quite consistent with the narrative that Disney would like out there. So
very good, very astute point there.
Go ahead.
And to make a decision to do a change like that and a huge investment, both Walt Disney World and Disneyland, we all sat around and kind of held hands and said, you know what, the timing is right. It should be done. And it's a great idea. And it's a character that people now love, young girls, young boys who've seen those movies love. We want to do it. But that was a really tough decision to make.
Yes, all those young boys who love Princess Tiana.
Well, what?
They held hands. They made the decision together.
Let's not pretend that you factored in young boys when you made this decision. You make nothing for boys. Nothing. Well, you just take their things and give it to girls.
Right. And I'll also point out that they're talking about young boys and girls who are under the height of 40 inches as well. So let's just point that out.
How many decades away are we from that Princess and the Frog bologna sausage?
What, are you calling the movie bologna? Because I love the movie.
No, no. I mean, it's fine. It had a place, but what was it? 2009?
Right.
Yes, it was right after John Lasseter came back to the Walt Disney Company. He said, no, we're doing animated and we're doing Princess and the Frog. And by the way, Randy Newman, who is the only songwriter that John Lasseter has ever heard of, was going to do the music. In this, the idea of them all holding hands at the table. First of all, guys, here at that Park Place, if we're working together, I am never going to have a moment where we all hold hands together. I think that is an HR issue waiting to happen.
Jonas, typically that is what you do when you're attempting to summon the demons that Disney clearly serves.
But not the voodoo demons. See?
No, not that.
You're focusing on the wrong thing. This man was universally respected in many regards.
Absolutely.
Now I find like immediately he's sacrificed his reputation supporting a politically ideologically driven decision to do this particular attraction so much damage.
On the same altar that they sacrifice small animals to appeal to the demons that they summon.
Well, let's not talk about Small World. Calm down.
Let's finish off Bob Weiss's video here. And,
sure, you got it.
So now that we're out of COVID and we've kind of survived,
no, you haven't.
It's joyous. I mean, I went to see it at Disneyland
joyous
with the team a few weeks ago for the first time. It's a joyous, wonderful celebration of a new thing, and it's still a fantastic ride.
Disagree.
Jonas, why you brought hey culture. Let's destroy one of the people that you looked up to at Imagineering real fast before we end the show, and you can't react at all.
Go ahead, culture.
Sorry, culture.
2 minutes. Take a deep breath and let it go. We'll do the
it's ridiculous. Nobody in their right mind worked to destroy this attraction harder than the politically driven. If these are actual Imagineering minds that walked through the door that said, "Hey, this is what we're going to do to tear into the history of this amazing park." I didn't like, Tony Baxter, but I never got a chance to really tell him to his face. So I'm going to wreck the best attraction we have at the park right now to get back at Tony Baxter for outshining me for so many years. Anyway, I'm done. I could go on for a long time. This is willful. This was willful destruction of the most popular attraction in North America in both locations. Yeah. Sorry.
You're factually correct. I'm also going to point out that if Tony Baxter was signed on to help with the Splash Mountain retheme to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, an NDA would have most likely come with that. And in the early stages of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, it was very clear publicly that Tony Baxter was involved. And then after that point, he was not publicly involved in any way.
Invisible. He signed the shut up paperwork is what he signed.
the golden gag, as they like to refer to it. That's how they keep. And I'm not saying this is the case with Tony Baxter definitively, because we don't know from a legal standpoint what that agreement was. We just know that he's very quiet, and I think that it would cause issues. A lot of Imagineers don't talk about anything in the negative after they leave the company.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.